Hello everyone, it's Larry. My main thing on this channel is making custom LEGO models of trains fit for 4 stud wide track, rather than the standard 6 stud wide track. But LEGO actually has a history of producing official small scale trains and track, so let's get into it. This will not be including Duplo. The first ever LEGO train track was actually split into individual strips, so technically right from the start it was possible to just build your own narrow gauge track. There just weren't any sets or wheels that could use it, and there wouldn't be for a long time. In 1991 entered the small train wheels, but make no mistake, these are not the same as the current ones. I made that mistake the first time I bought them, and my Bill and Ben models still use them. They still function, they're just not designed to perfectly slot into the wheel holders, so they don't run as smoothly. Anyway, these were introduced in the 1990s and mostly used for things that weren't really trains. Like this Harry Potter set, this car with train wheels, and rail and road vehicles, which were apparently all the rage in the 90s. But you might be thinking, Larry, these are all clearly for 6 wide track, but there's one exception. In the 1996 Bandit Secret Hideout set exists a cannon on track that's clearly 4 studs wide. I can't believe that of all things, this was the very first instance I could find of LEGO track being 4 studs wide. For a flipping cannon! This straight track went on to be used for all sorts of non-4 wide and even non-railway purposes, until 2007's LEGO Castle Dwarves Mine set, where you could guess what it was used for. It seems minecarts were favourable, as they returned in the LEGO City set, The Mine, in 2012, which I had and I absolutely loved. And in LEGO Disney The Lone Ranger set, Silver Mine Shootout in 2013. Whew, what a mouthful. However, it kind of feels like this piece wasn't so much meant to be railway track. I mean, the edges are jagged and the ride is not as smooth as it could be. And come on, these long sticks don't compare to a nice track piece. So, LEGO actually made some, starting with the 2009 LEGO Indiana Jones Temple of Doom set, which remains the only set to include them in grey. So that's rare now. LEGO then proceeded to do nothing with this new piece until 2011, when they used it for an alien spaceship? But a year later they did reuse them for a LEGO Batman Funfair ride. They used 2 total pieces. And by the way, they never made straight track. Slopes were the only form of official 4 wide straight track pieces that we ever got. After this, they predictably used them for another funfair ride, in the 2016 LEGO Friends Amusement Park roller coaster set, though calling this a roller coaster is a bit ambitious if you ask me. What wasn't ambitious though was LEGO's use of their small track. This was it! They really produced several new unique molds for small scale track in 3 different colours over the course of 7 years and decided that this was all they should do with it. It's a shame, really. They only use it for minecarts and roller coasters, and then promptly after this, they started producing actual roller coaster track. And the rest is history for roller coasters, but it pretty much replaced the small track outright, even for minecarts. What about small track, though? Small track has been completely abandoned, as if it has no purpose. Which is a shame, because LEGO did, and still do, care about small-scale trains. In 2008, they released a small-scale train in the LEGO Creator 3-in-1 set. It could be built as a steam engine, an electric engine, or a passenger carriage. By the way, side note about these boxes, they can't have been the best for the environment, but they were so appealing to child me that I was addicted to them, and probably to the very cute small-scale builds. But surprisingly, I never owned this one. However, the concept proved not to be a one-time thing, and it returned for Christmas 2012, in a polybag set. This one used car wheels for some reason. And in 2014, we got an improved small train called the Emerald Express, possibly named as a nod to the Emerald Knight set 5 years earlier. And I do have this one. I loved the idea of a tiny train like this. It also had alternate builds for a very small carriage and a bullet on wheels. But there's a clear star of the show here. I loved this, and I noticed the ridges in the wheels, and I thought, would the track from The Mine set work with this? And it does! It was so cool to discover, but in retrospect it's particularly odd that at no point do these trains come with track, or is it even advertised that they can run on them. This carried on into 2015's Christmas train, where they showed fake track that's not even the actual LEGO track they made at the time that this could have run on. But of course, the designs are very cute and I like them. 2016 saw the introduction of LEGO Dimensions, a toys-to-life game with small licensed sets that added extra gameplay. There was a Back to the Future fun pack that came with a Doc Brown and his train from the third film, which was just so well made. Also, a Harry Potter pack came with a small-scale Hogwarts Express. The funnel looks a bit cursed, but we'll allow it. I also have to bring up the Adventure Time pack, not because it contains a small train, but because small train wheels in medium azure were made for this set. And this set only, just for this car. Now, here we need to talk about something that LEGO don't want you to know. That year, in 2016, the LEGO Group released this 50 Years on Track set, complete with a classic LEGO System logo. It featured a collection of 6 classic LEGO trains reimagined at a small 4-stud wide scale. And they even used track pieces, with built sleepers. So, what was the problem? This set was employee exclusive. No one outside the company could buy it properly. And I understand why. I mean, the average parent and child in a supermarket probably aren't familiar with 50 years of LEGO train lore, but it's a shame, as it's by far the highest quality small-scale LEGO train set we've seen yet. Also, up until this point, small train wheels were only ever in black, but they made special red versions just for this set, representing the original red wheels. It took them 6 years to release these in a set the public could buy. Speaking of which, let's get back to public sets. 2017 brought us this, the rather creatively named Blue Express. I happened to pick this one up at the time. It had 2 alternate builds, once again a carriage and a bullet on wheels. I think this and my Emerald Express proved to be direct influences and even provided parts to help me construct the first attempt of my Thomas model, which started it all. I restored these builds recently, as Thomas has been rebuilt since, but you can still see that I use these bricks for Thomas, with marks where his pinstriping used to be. Interestingly though, the wheels are built with wide wheel holders. But yeah, good set that captured imaginations, and seemed to be loosely based on a Class 9F or something. In 2018, we got this Christmas train polybag, which I also have. I didn't even realise how much I liked small trains. Even compared to the other small trains, this one is tiny, but still has properly rotating wheels, a truck carrying presents, and a passenger car. Either way, this is just lovely, and I admired how it could do so much with so little.
This is the best thing I have ever seen.
Polybags seem to be the way forward for LEGO's mini trains, as in 2020 they released this. Funnily, this looks like the 3-in-1 sets of yesteryear, but it's just one build. It looks nice though, and whilst I don't own this, a viewer has sent me a picture of theirs. And another polybag came out this year, in 2023, this time breaking the mold and making it a birthday train, bringing you one present, which is a slightly inefficient use of a train if you ask me. But I do love its bright colours and daring to try something new. But I've slightly jumped ahead here, because there is one train I've skipped over that I wanted to talk about last. One that, fingers crossed, will redefine small-scale LEGO trains going forward. I am of course talking about another Christmas train. I'm joking, it's the 2022 Creator High Speed Train set. To each their own, of course, but I love this one. When I saw it announced, I was hyped, and the moment I could, I bought 2 of them immediately, so I could have a completed set. This feels like more than just a little build. It feels like a full-on LEGO train, just at a small scale. Anyway, I could probably make a whole video about just this, but it still has the problem of completely ignoring its own compatibility with LEGO Track. Or maybe it's LEGO that has a problem with ignoring its own small-scale track. The custom molds have not been used since 2016, despite that they could be making train sets with it, especially as the big ones are getting more and more expensive, whereas this set was £18. A train set at this scale would be much more affordable to people. It would just be nice to see LEGO do more with small trains. When we did get track, there was barely any of it and hardly any in grey, and small wheels exist in 3 total colours, but oh well, I'm grateful for what we have. And if we at least continue to get small-scale builds like this, then I'm happy. And hey, those of us who do want tracks and layouts for small scale can get them from third-party sites like Trixbricks. And we can only sit in hope that the 2022 Creator Set was a sign of things to come. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe and maybe check out my 4-wide LEGO trains. An aspect I didn't really cover was motorization, so stick around as I will be doing a video on it. Thanks for watching.